Welcome to the course for professional way of writing the PowerShell script for SQL Server Database Administrator. In this video session, we are going to learn how we can read the registry level of information using the PowerShell. This is very important. Some of the time you will get that kind of situation where your T-SQL code will not work. You have to go to the registry and take the value of the registry. Just example, I'm taking one example, like I have to know where is my SQL CMD path, SQL CMD.exe path, which is used for running the TSQL code. For that we need SQL CMD.exe, and we have to figure out where is the SQL CMD.exe. By default, if you are talking about by default, this will be in 2012. You can see this will be available into the this directory: C program files, Microsoft SQL Server 110, and then tools and bins. This will be available in this by default, but you cannot relate on the default value. In just example, I'm going to show you. You can see I have taken one picture here. You can see in this picture my binary path, it is going to be installed in E drive. Whenever you are, and you can see that SQL CMD, it is installed into the E apps, MS SQL, client tool SDK, ODBC 130, tools and bin. The meaning of this means how while installation of the SQL server with path you are going to give to install the binaries, there only it will go and it will create the SQLCMD.exe file. If you are going with the default location, sometime you will face the problem, because if somebody has um, installed, and while installing they have changed the directory, then SQL CMD will be not be available here. So how we will figure out this? So if you have to read, then how we will figure out where is my SQL CMD is going? Then you have to go to the registry and you have to read the registry. How to read the registry? I will go one by one and then I will show you. You have to go to local machine. Then inside that it will be software. You go to local machine. Then inside that it will be software. Expand the software. Expanding the software, there will be Microsoft. You have to expand this Microsoft. After expanding this Microsoft, you have to go to Microsoft SQL Server. Expand this, and after expanding this you have to go to that version. Which version is your SQL Server you want to know? Maybe 2012, 2014, 2016, 2019, or 2020, 12, whatever. According to version you have to select your this directory, registry directory. If you are going with 2012, then you have to go with in 110. Inside that 110 you have to go to the tools, and inside tool there will be client setup, and there will be SQL path will be there. You have to open this path. Here only your SQL CMD.exe file will be available for SQL Server 2012, right? So inside that we will go and we will see. We are going to tills tools. After tools, what will be happen? You have to open this bin folder, right? Inside the bin folder, you will see SQLCMD.exe file is available. What I'm going to do, I am just making a note in Excel. Means you have to go to this location in your registry, and you have to read the SQL path for SQLCMD, and it is going to be give you this location. But this location is not enough. You have to add bin also inside that, because whatever registry it is given till tools, but inside that tool there will be one more folder that is called bin folder, and inside bin folder that SQL CMD path will be there. That is which one we are getting from registry. So what you understood? Again, I will summarize. For SQL Server 2012, if you want to know where is your SQL CMD path for SQL Server 2012, you go to the registry, go to this location, and the same location I have already given here. You have to go to this path in the registry path. How to open the registry? It will be very simple. Reg edit. If you are going to run, it is going to open the registry, right? So it is going to open the registry, right? So open the registry, go to this path, whatever I have given here, and inside that path, go to the client tools, and inside the tools client setup, and inside the client setup there will be SQL path. Go take this path, and in this you have to add bin, because bin folder will be there inside that, and that will be the your SQL CMD path for SQL Server 2012, right? So we are making the note because we have to automate these things in the later. So that is the one thing, right? Second thing, if it is going with 2014, if it is going with 2014, which folder we have to select? If it is 2014, we have to select 12120, right? 120 we have to select, no, no, yes, 120 for 2014 SQL Server. So if I want, where is my binaries? Because I have installed this all SQL Server 2000 in my local. I have installed 12, 14, 16, 19, and 22. That's why you will able to see this everything. So if you are going with this one 20, inside the 20 again it will be tools and client setup. But whether the SQL path will be available here in the 2012, what we have done, we have gone SQL path, right? But here also we are trying to go with we have taken the SQL path and we'll try to go inside. And here again bin folder is there, but if you will go, you will not able to find SQLCMD.exe in this folder. Why? Because when the SQL Server is released 2014, they have changed the configuration for it, and it will be happen. Microsoft something internally they are going to change. So, so that's why if you have written the script for 2012, in the 2014, 16, or 19, everything it is going to be failed, because if you're writing any logic, you go to this path, pick up the SQL CMD location, run the SQL using the SQL CMD, it is going to be failed in 2014, because that path itself it is changed, right? So where is then SQL CMD path here? So if you want to know the SQL CMD path, you have to go ODBC tools path, right? And in this, if you will go in this, here will be the SQL, here will be your SQLCMD.exe file, right? You can see here, right? So what you understood, I have to go where to read ODBC tools path, not SQL path. So that thing only I have written. Here you have to go and select SQL path, but in the second, in 2014, right? You have to go to ODBC tools path. And what is the location they are giving? That is the location for SQL CMD path. In 2012, you have to add tools. After tools, you have to add the bin. You can see it here. I have written here, right? It is giving only this much location, but here it is giving till bins. And inside the bin only folder, your SQLCMD .exe file will be present. Going with the next one, let's see if it is 2016, then what is going to be happen. If it is 2016, we have to go to 103, and 103 again I will go here, and what you are seeing here also, this SQL path will not give the SQL CMD location. You have to go and read this only. So that's why you can see, and same thing it is follow for 19, 22. In future, if something it is going to be changed, right? Microsoft is going to be change something in the installation, that time you have to be modify your script, right? Till now I have not reached to script part. Till now we are understanding only what we have to tell the PowerShell to read. So if I am passing anything, and this time I know I am going to check 2012 server, then where will be the SQL CMD location? I know this 2014 where it will be there. But if I am passing my SQL Server instance name from the SQL Server, from the PowerShell, right? How my how my PowerShell will come to know this is the SQL Server, because I have to pass that. I have to pass the instance name and host name, right? So if I'm passing the instance name and host name, so first PowerShell has to figure out, right, what is the instance. what is the version of the SQL server, right? If he know SQL server version, then only he is going to decide where I have to go, whether I have to go to 110 or where I have to go 120 or 130, right? So first is finding the SQL server version is very, very important. If you, so before going to this one here, what I have done, I know I have to check for 2012 where is the location. I know I have to check for 2014. But if I'm passing the SQL server name, PowerShell has to figure out what is the version of it, right? According to that version, it will be go to that registry location, and according to that registry location, it is going to pick up uh, where it has, where the path will be available, right? So first, what you understood, we have to first figure out what is the version of the SQL server, which one you want to figure out. For that, what we are going to do, how we will figure out that. So if you are passing any named instance, right? So what you have to do, you have to go to here, means till this location, till Microsoft location. After Microsoft location, you have to go to that that instance. Where is your instance, right? Like I want to know for SQL Server 2012, right? I want to know prod 2012. This is my 2012 server. So yeah, I will pass my instance name. Here it is written like 2012, but real time it is not right 2012. Nobody will write. It will write application name or something different instance name they will take. So now I am talking about instance name, a default named instance. Then I will show you that where will be the default instance will be there, right? Default instance will be only one. Okay, so if it is a named instance, what you have to do, you have to go to till SQL Server. After that, you have to see what is the instance name you want to figure out, right? So once you will figure out that instance name, you go to instance that instance name, then go to MS SQL Server. Inside MS SQL Server, there will be a current version, and read this. This is the value, is the your version, right? And same thing you can see in the SQL Server also, right? If I will go to my, I have not started the SQL Server there, so so I don't want to start again because I am running the VM. So if I will, okay, you can see if I am connected through node 1, you can see the 11.0.2100. So from where it is reading from here only. It's reading the registry, right? If somebody will tell you how you figure out that SQL Server version, you can easily telling like at the rate of version we will run from the SQL Server. But how SQL Server is finding? SQL Server is going to the registry and reading this value, right? And if it is reading the value, then only it is going to be tell it is a SQL Server which version you are in. Got it? So we figure out, right? If it is the 11, the meaning of this means what? It is the 2012 server, right? Same way, if you are going to 2014, so it will be something different. It is going to be display current version. It will display 12, right? And same thing if you'll go with 12 to after that is the 16. If you are going, where is the 16? 14. Okay, it is not here then. You can go with the 19. I think I have not installed 16. You can see that 19, it is the 15, right? Then go to 22. 22 it will be 16, right? So 22 it is 16. So it is all SQL Server version. If you have to figure out where is my, what is my SQL Server version, and if you are passing the any instance name, then you have to go to this registry of this one. Then after that you have to you have to go till here, path will be the same. After that you have to go to that instance name, and after instance name, that will be the same MS SQL Server, and the current version you have to go, and in that you have to read this value. And if you are reading this, then again one more thing you think, right? If you are reading the current value, you can see it is giving 16.106. Now we have to relate these two things, because we have to build this path, right? We have to build this path. How we are going to build it, right? Till here, this path will be the same, right? Again, you understood. Somebody has passed the SQL Server instance name. What you have to do? You have to tell the registry, go to this path, check what instance it is passed, named instance. I'm talking about named instance. Go to that named instance, go to inside MS SQL Server, go to SQL version and read it. If it is 1.6, right? If I There is two things. If it is 1.6, right? The meaning of this means SQL Server 2022. If it is 22, then what you have to do? You have to go inside that location. Wait once again. Then you have to go inside this location, right? Inside this location, go to tools, go to client setup, and if it is that one, then you go and read this value. I hope you have understood. Same thing. If you are passing 2014 server instance name, what you have to do? It will be go till this location. After this location, what is the instance name? It will be go inside that instance name. If this is the instance name, don't become confused. And inside the instance name, go to the MS SQL Server, go to the current version, take this, read it. What is this? It is a 12. If it is a 12, go to 120. And inside this, go to this registry and read the 120. And then inside this 120, go to tools, go to client setup and read this path. And this is the path which having the SQL CMD location, right? And then again, one question will come in your mind. Now there is a lot of commandlets is available. Why we are going with SQL CMD option? So there will be some cases, right, where your commandlets, PowerShell SQL commandlets is going to be failed. It will not give the correct output whatever you want. So because of that, we have to use this one. Even in the script, I will show you later video where it is going to be failed, right? In which cases you will not able to read the exact value what SQL CMD is going to be give, but SQL commandlets is not going to give you. I hope till here you don't have any doubt, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going with the PowerShell, and same thing we are going to automate it now, right? So what I have given, I'm creating one function. So I hope till here you don't have any doubt, right? So what is that? If you are passing any instance, if you are passing any instance name, what it has to figure out? It has to figure out what is the version, right? If you want to know what is the version of the SQL server, then what you have to do? Where you have to go? You have to go to this location, right? In this location, you have to go to till this location, and after that till here you have to go the instance name till this location you have to reach. After reaching it, decide what is the instance name they have passed. If they have passed 14 or 19, 12 or whatever, right? In go to that instance, go to inside that folder, go to MS SQL, then current version, and go and read this current version of the information, right? If you are reading like it is 1.5, right? If it is a 1.5, then what you have to do? You go here and check where is that 1.5 and go inside that 1.5. Then go to this location. It is a common for all. You figure out 150, go to 150, then go to tools, go to client setup, go to current version, not current version, current setup, current setup, client setup, and then go to here. And this is the path for SQL CMD. The same thing only we want to automate using the PowerShell. How we can do? So I'm creating one function, and in this function we can pass two parameter. One is SQL Server instance name, and second one we have to figure out. We have to send the host name using this function. Real time you will not use like this. Real time, this all data it will be come from your configuration file, and we will write one more program to save the instance name into one variable and host name into the one variable. That one we have already done in the previous thing. Here I have to show you. That's why I'm hard coding my instance name here and my host name here. Real time it should not be like this. You have to write the program. Automatically your program is going to decide what is my instance name and what is my host name, and then it is going to be passed. If you are passing prod 2012 and your host name where we are, right? So what will be happen? And when this function is going to be called SQL instance name, it is going to be stored this value prod 2022. And this is the SQL server. In this variable, it is going to store this value, right? After that, what going to be happen? I have taken one variable. In this variable, I am saving character 92. What is the meaning of character 92? Character 92 is nothing but it is the backslash. So I will run this. And I'm going to read this. What is the character 92? It is going to see this slash, right? This slash is same only when how you are connecting to SQL server. It will be the host name slash instance name. This is the slash, and that slash value should be 90 character 92, because some of the time I want this character, right, and I will not able to display this properly, so I can use this number and save into the variable. So I will not use this symbol. Without symbol, I can use this value. I hope you have understood. Okay, one more thing I forget to tell you. If it is the default instance, where you will figure out where is the SQL Server version. If it is the default instance, for default instance, it will be MS SQL Server. Let's go software, then Microsoft, then again go inside the Microsoft. Okay, it is the Microsoft SQL Server, and inside that MS SQL Server and the current version. This is that default instance. If you want to know, default instance will be go in this folder. So just I will copy this, because then default instance path will be this. And it is not belongs to anything like 2012 default instance, because only one default instance will be there in your host. So if it is the only one default instance, so it is going to be stored into this location only. I will save this. Okay, next what I am going to do now what we are going to do, write the we are going to automate this. Means we are going to pass our SQL Server instance name and host name. It has to give me where is the SQLCMD path, which is for that instance. So I have passed my SQL Server instance here and host name here, right? So what I'm doing, I'm just creating one variable and I'm checking if the SQL hyphen instance is not equal to MS SQL, right? Because we are writing some logic. If it is the default instance, then it will be like MS SQL only. Something logic we have to write, but here we have not written. So, or otherwise, if it, so it one. Else, what is going to, if it is not equal to MS SQL, what happen? I have one key value. These things, how it is going to be work, that one we are going to discuss whenever we are going to learn this programming, how to create the secondary replica into that second login into the secondary replica. So that time, that script I have given the logic. So here you don't confuse here why I have given that not equal to MS SQL, because in the logic we have written into the other script, like if what is the SQL server you are passing, it will not having the backslash, then save the instance is this one. And if it's having the backslash, what you have to do, you go and save that value into the instance name this value and your host name this value. But here I'm passing this host name and instance name, so don't become confused here. So I'm checking like if SQL instance name is not equal to MS SQL, what will be happen? By key value in the key variable, I'm going to store this value, right? This much. Inside that, I told you what is the instance name will be there. Whatever instance name we are passing, we have to go inside that instance, right? That will be the path. And after that, MS SQL Server and current version, right? I hope you have understood. Same thing. Uh, you go to here, Microsoft SQL Server. Inside Microsoft SQL Server, you can see it will go Microsoft SQL, Microsoft. Inside Microsoft SQL Server. Where is Microsoft SQL Server? It will be here. Go to this location. After this location, you go and select what instance you want to know what is the version. So depending of the instance, depending of the instance, you go and check where is your instance. My instance is this prod 2022 I have passing, right? So go inside this, and after inside this value is the variable, right? So what value we have passed from my parameter file, right? So this is going to be stored here, SQL instance. So this value should be this only, right? Prod 2000 underscore 2012. So it will be here. After that, you add MS SQL, because I have to add MS SQL Server. That one we have added, and inside that current version, and inside the current version we have to read this value, right? Okay, so this one we have given the logic, so my key will be this. And if it is not, then what will be happen, it will go to the else loop, means that should be the default instance. And if it is the default instance, we have to go to this path I have already explained just now, right? In the default instance it will be this value, software Microsoft, and then Microsoft, then MS SQL Server, correct version. So same thing, Microsoft, MS SQL Server, and current version, right? So this two key value we have decided, right? After that, what we are going to do, we are just testing the path, whether this path will be available or not. If it is available, it has to display right host, means registry key, this is correct, into the yellow color. So instead of this, I will putting 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, because it will reading this line. If I'm going to execute this, you will able to see is correct, and it's giving 1 1 1. So it is printed this value, right? So it is decided. So if you want to go to this registry, so you can see it is decided, no, it is software, then Microsoft, then MS SQL prod, automatically is taken that what instance we are passing, then this, and here only we have to go, and it is my PowerShell is decided where I have to go, and how we have to figure out that my instance by SQL Server version. Till here, I think you don't have any doubt. Next one, what we are doing, we are just creating, because what will be happen, no, you can see in the registry it is saying 16, right? It is saying 16, but if we want to go here, it should not be 60, should be 160. So some logic we are bringing, so some logic we are going to build. So why should not it be 160? So if it is going to 160, then directly I can tell go to this variable, whatever value is there, go to there to find out SQLCMD path, right? So for that we are building the logic, so it will be the same only. So if it is going with 2012, 12, it will be 16. If it is going with, it is the 2022, that's why it is 16. If it is going the SQL Server 2012, it will be 11. So we will make 110, because you can see it is 110. So something logic we have to build. So same logic, how we are going to build, we are taking this key and using one command list, that is called get item property. Get item property, why we are using, we are going and reading from the registry value, right? How we are going to read, so that one we are going to explain you in the this video, not this says this one. What we are going to do, I will just has each and everything, and I will just open my first one. Okay, so here what we have given, we have just one variable I have taken, and I want to explain you here get item property, and in this I given the key value, means registry key or registry path, where it has to go and read your value, right? So I am passing what, SQL prod 20, prod, no, don't go with 20, it will be like go with the prod PROD, and it should be prod underscore 2022. Okay, so this location, because I have passed that only from my from here, right? So that's why I don't want to confuse you guys, so I have given this. So and this value where from where we have taken, because already my script has decided, right, what should be the where it has to go, which path it has to go, PowerShell has to go to figure out what is the SQL Server version of that instance, right? So in this path it has to go to the registry. So I have taken that path only. Now the work is to read it, right? So for reading it, what we are going to do, you can give the dot and write the current version. You can see here, go here, go to this current version, and whatever thing you want to read, you give that one current version, right? So you can give the current version, and if you are going to execute this to line, right, cut this, go here, and I want to print also, right? So I will just, for your purpose, I have given here. So if I'm going to execute this, this is going to read that okay, something it is missing. Okay, something, what is the wrong I have given? Wait, I think my instance name I have given the wrongly. Okay, this time something it was wrong. So it is reading, it is when I given and I told go and read the current version. So it is reading the current version, right? It is going and reading this value of this, right? Just example, if you want to read anything else, like if you want to read something called TCP IP port, right? Somebody is saying. So where you will go? You will go to here, and inside that you have to read this value, right? So for that, what we are going to do, I will copy this. I'm pasting here, right? And I'm removing this. This time, what will be the my key value? This prod 2012. You can see till here it is same prod 2012. Inside that MS SQL server, I'm going inside MS SQL server. Inside MS SQL server, I'm not reading the current value. I'm using this super socket netlib. So that one I have given, right? Inside that I have to use the TCP IP. So I'm going to use the TCP IP, and then I am going to display this result, right? I will remove this, and I've given the TCP IP. So it is going to read the value. TCP IP is 63149. Now it is using for this instance, right? This value, whatever it is given, if you want to convert it to string, so you can write to string. Okay, so this time this value will display into the string, same value, but it is converted to string if you want, because many time you are taking the data and you will get confused, like I have to compare, means you cannot compare or you cannot add. So those time numeric number, if you want to convert it to a string, you can give to string, or you want to something called in the capital letter, so that also you will able to do. Okay. So till here, I hope you understood how to read the value from the registry, right? But here what we have to do, we have to read the correct current version, right? And we have read this we have gone and read this um, current version, right? But the problem it is here, we don't want like full version to be read. Why we want? Because it is giving like 16.0.111.1000.6, but we don't want that one. But what we want to add this 160, means you go and add this zero with this, because we want to build in this form. 160 means it has to make 16. So whatever value it is given here, that go to that folder, right? That one for purpose of that is. So how we can convert this to 16 to 160, right? So again, what we are doing here, current version we have got, and then after that we have to convert this string to string. You write to string, give the comma, right? And if we are going to read this, what is the value we are going to get? We are going to get the same value, right? What we are doing, we are going to split where you are finding that dot. How we are going to do? We will write that. I have already explained the split function, right? So it should be better. You can go and watch that video. SP split. And where we want to split, we want to split where the dot will be there, right? It is going to split. So if I'm going to execute this, so it is going to give 1 2 3 4 5 4 value, right? That is split into this value. It is split where dot is there. So till here, I think you don't have any problem. After that, what we are doing, we are taking the right side of the value, means left side of the value. And many time I told, if you want to take the right side of the value, what you have to add? You have to add 0, right? And now you execute this, what it is giving? It's giving the 16. If I'm going to give here 1, what is the value I will get? Let's see now. It should be 0. Means it is giving, it is just, where it is. Okay. So it is, so what we are going to do? We are going to give here 0. 0 means go and read the left side of the value. So already it is giving the 16. In the 16, what we want? We want to add 0. So we will give plus. Concatenation we have done many times, so we given the 0. So in this point, if I'm going to execute this, it is giving 160, and we are storing into some other variable. Because why we want? We now my our programming is almost clear. So if your variable it is like 160, go to direct to this one. If it is 150, go to here. If it is 130, go to here. Even you go to the current version, read the version, make this 0 with first one, like 16 means 16 and 0 add, and directly go to this location and go and then read your SQL server, this file, right here. Okay, so now I have to implement that logic. So how we are going to implement that? We'll go to this our script now. So I hope you have understood what we want to do. So till here we have generated where we have to go and where we have to read the SQL Server version. So this is the path we have already created, right? And in this using this, right? And we are checking whether this registry is correct or not. That registry path, we have done the testing of the path and we figure out that is correct. So we have written this is key is correct. After that, what we are going to do? We are just creating one variable. In that variable, we are passing this get item property and key. Same thing. Here we have just given the key value. There I am giving that variable because here only it is stored this value, right? And I'm using the same thing, current version, and then to string split where it is 0. 0 means take the left side of value, add the 0 into it. So it is going to be stored some value like 16 means 160, like that. So till here I think then again I am writing SQL version is in this. So if I'm going to execute this, you can see this one you don't have any problem. First line 111. Next is SQL version is 160, because whatever we are going to pass, it is going to give me what is the version, means what is the number, means that folder you have to go, right? And that one we are storing into the SQL version, means SQL ver. In that variable, we have stored this. That's it. Next one is we are just creating one variable and just assigning none for it. SQLCMD.exe is none. And again, we are going with the if loop. And whatever I have using here if loop and how I have built the logic, for your purpose, you can bring your logic. It is not like you have to go whatever I have written. If you are thinking like, no, something better I can do, you can try to do. Right. So what we are going to do, we are checking whether the SQL version is equal to 120 or what. In our case, what is the, it is 160, right? So it will check here whether it is a 120. No, it is not. It is 150. No, it is not. It is 160. Yes, it is a 160. So this condition is going to be satisfied. If this condition is going to be satisfied, what we have to do? We have to go to that folder. We have to go to where? We have to go to that folder where above in this, right? If it is the 160 means we have to go to here. So till here it will be same only, right? And after that, whatever variable we have saved that 160, we will give this variable there here. It should not be 160 that variable, because from till here it will be same. After that SQL ver we have figured out from this, right? Where it will be here, right? From here we have added that value into that instance. What is the number, right? Which number we have to go? So it will be 160 means it will be go directly here, and then we have to go to this way, this path, right? That one I have explained. We have to go to this path. Inside, if it is 2022, you have to go to 160. Inside that, you have to go to tools and you have to go to the client setup. And inside client setup, again, you have to read this value. So that is the logic only I have implemented here. Go here and then go and read the ODBC tools path. The same thing. Go and read ODBC tools path, and whatever the value you are getting, that one you store into this variable, right? That is the case. And one more thing, guys. If you are going with SQL Server 10120, right? If it is the 120, you have seen it, right? So if it is the 120, that value should be different, right? Should not be the same. No, no, one not 120. It will be the 110. If it is the 110 means SQL Server 2012, the path will be where? The path will be not this. Path will be SQL path. So be remember this. So that's why what we have given here, we are checking like if it is the 120, 150, 160, logic will be the same for all. Else means if it is 110, right? That time what will be happen? I am going with tools and then clients tool. We are going to read the SQL path, right? The same thing whatever we have written in the Excel. So if you have 2001 to server, 2012 server, go and read SQL path. Remaining all you are reading ODBC tools path for finding SQLCMD.exe location, right? Here it will be this path, SQL path. But if I'm going with 201020, it should not be this, it should be ODBC path, right? That one we have seen it in the beginning. So what we are going to do, we are going to write again that logic. This logic is for SQL Server 2012. Go and read the SQL path. But for this, go and read that ODBC tools path, right? Because here is the version, it is going to be added that number. So PowerShell is finding what is the instance name you are passing. PowerShell is finding what is the instance name, and then this instance is belong to which version. What is the version number? It's found like it is 16. So it is adding 160. We have given that registry path, in that it is adding 160, right? Because it has to go either 160 or 110 or 120 like that, 140. So go to inside that, go to tools and then read the value. So if it is going to read this, what it is going to read, just see, it is given the yellow and red. So if I'm going to execute this, so where is 160, right? It will be here, right? Clay, it is there, no? It is the this one. So if it is go and if it is read, so it will read the full path, right? It is going to read the full path. We will go also inside that 160 and then we will see what is the path. So this time 160 tools client setup, go to this path and this is the path. That is, you can see here ODBC 170 tools bin, right? So that's why you can see uh, Microsoft Client 170 tools bins, right? You can go again. You can see the client tool SDK, then ODBC. So client tool SDK, you can see the client tool SDK, then ODBC, then 170, 170, yes, then tools, and then bin, right? What is this? The same value it is displaying here, right? But we have to add here one more thing. What we have to add in this, we have to add the SQLCMD.exe. That is the file name, right? That also we have to add. If I'm telling the SQL Server, go and your SQLCMD path is here, go and execute the script, it will confuse, right? So again, we have to give, like if you want to give it to any folder name, right? You are giving the path plus that folder name, right? If you want any file, so you are giving the full path, then file name. Here also it is the same. We have to add SQL CMD here, right? So what logic we have added? We are removing this bin and backslash from here, right? And after that, I'm adding bin and SQL Server, SQLCMD.exe. That's it. That one only we are doing. Means either you no need of removing that bin and backslash directly. Also, you can add SQLCMD.exe, or otherwise you remove this and add the same value. Means remove the bin backslash and add bin backslash SQLCMD.exe. That is also same. Or you can directly add SQLCMD.exe. That is also path is correct. So what we are doing in the next step, we are replacing it. Means we are removing the bin and backslash, right? So no need of removing. If you I have written the wrong, so it should be better directly you can add here SQLCMD.exe. That also will work fine. So that will be the your SQLCMD.exe path. So if I'm going to execute this, right, so we are getting down this path 170 tools, because after removing that backslash and bin, again I am printing what is the value of this. So it is find out this, right? And next what we are doing, we are checking whether SQL CMD is none or SQL where care is SQL value is not equal to 80. In our case it will be like 1160, right? It is 160. So it will, the condition is satisfied, it will go here, right? And after that what we are doing in the SQL CMD path, what is the SQL CMD path is now this one. It is ODBC 170 and tools. Here we are adding bin and SQL CMD.exe, or otherwise here you don't remove it. That also you can do. You don't replace directly. You add. If you are not going to replace, mean don't replace directly. You add this value SQL CMD. Then also it is the same. Right? I hope you are understanding. I hope you are understanding. If you are not understanding, I will try to explain you. Where is my Excel? So what I want to say, this is the path, right? In this, what you can do, either you can add uh, SQL CMD.exe. Directly you take this variable and in this you add this one. That is the SQL CMD path, right? Or otherwise, what you do, now this is the location, right? You remove this bin and remove that backslash, right? Both you remove, and then after add this to value, right? Then also it is same only, right? Then also it is the same only, right? Path will be the same, that only. So any logic you implement, I think I have written here wrongly. It should be better like you can directly add SQLCMD.exe. So that is the path of the SQLCMD, right? In case if it is not equal to 80, it is went here. If it is the 80, then it will be go for OSQL, right? Like that. And then next it is testing that path, whatever is the path you have created, that path is correct or wrong. If it is the path, it is writing in the yellow and blue color, this is the path for SQL CMD is this. That one you can see that down it is written. So in this variable, it is going to store SQL CMD path. I hope you have understood how it is happening, right? So what will be happen if I am going to pass not SQL Server 2022, if I'm going to pass something different, we'll see now what is we have now. We are going to pass prod 12 we have seen, right? Prod 2019. Let's see. Pass P P I P R O D 20 2019. If I'm going to pass this, what is the value it is displaying? Whether it will be changed from 170 to someone, or person is now it is 160. Let's see what is showing. It is showing it is a 150, and my SQL path will be here. And of course, this path will be here only. If you will go for 2019, you go and see 2019. If you are going current version, okay, not here. 150 you have to go. If you're going with 150 and client tools, go to current client tools, go to read this, and this is the 170 tools.bins, and same value it is displaying here. Same value it is displaying here, right? So again we will do one more testing. So we have already checked for 222, we have checked for 19, right? We have already checked for 19. Let's see what more it is there in the SQL server. SQL 2014. Let's see. SQL 2014. SQL 2014. And this time, if I'm going to execute, it is giving 120. My path will be there into this location, SQL CMD. So I hope you understood how to read the registry using the PowerShell, And second thing, you have understood how to figure out SQL CMD path using the PowerShell. And third thing, which one you have to understood why we are going with SQL CMD, even there is command let is available into the SQL server. Directly we can go and run that any code, T-SQL code, it will give the output very easily. Why we are going with SQL CMD? That also we are going to understood into the later video session. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you so much. Please continuous and watch my video. That's for today.